Hello everyone and welcome back to Gears and Gadgets, part 14 probably. Now, in this episode, as you can see by the title, hopefully, I will obviously be building a go-karts. Hopefully if I name the title Go-karts or something along the lines of that. Now, at the start of this episode, I counted to see... No, well, sorry, let me start over. Well, I opened the park to get started on part 13. I counted to see how many rides we had in the park. We had 8 roller coasters and 5 non-roller coaster rides. So, I mean, I'm not sure what a good ratio is for coasters to non-coaster rides, like flat rides and track rides. So I am actually kind of curious. I thought maybe I could ask you guys out there for your opinions, and this is just kind of a weird question to ask, but what do you think is a good, maybe like a realistic ratio for number of coasters to non-coaster rides? You know, at the start of the episode it was 8 to 5. You know, like I mentioned, 8 roller coasters and 5 flat rides or tracked rides. And I remember at one point we actually had like 5 or 6 coasters and 0 flat or tracked rides. So but in this episode, the very first thing I did was build a merry-go-round. I think, in fact, it was the very first thing I did. And I themed that ride pretty interestingly. And I think I just completed it. Then I made a go-karts ride, which I'm starting right now. And another thing I need you guys for, forgot about this. I kind of forgot to mention it last episode, actually. The yellow Giga Coaster that I built last episode does need a name, and if you want to take a closer look at it, you might be able to see parts of that in this episode. Oh yes, I did work on the Giga a bit in this episode, actually, I forgot. So you might see it later, otherwise I took a huge chunk of time to make it in the previous episode. So that yellow Giga Coaster needs a name, and keep in mind that this is a mechanical theme park, or industrial, or whatever. So a name that kind of wraps around that theme would be awesome. Otherwise, I'm down for anything, to be quite honest, because I have 0 ideas myself. So any idea is better than my ideas, because I don't have any ideas. So, and this go-karts ride needs a name as well. And that's it, actually, for what needs to be named. Everything else here was named by you guys, which is amazing, and I just bumped my mic. Hopefully you didn't hear that. And I will also credit you guys when I make the showcase in the far, far future, when this park is fully complete. Now, what was I even talking about? Go-karts. I made a go-karts, which was also quite different from other go-karts you might have seen. I use this tile inspector, which I like rarely use. I'm trying to use the tile inspector more. I used it to hide all the visible track. Some parts of the go-karts were underground, so I didn't really have to hide that. And then I used like the mechanical roof piece, and you can kind of see, I think I just completed that too, so my commentary is a little bit behind. I used a mechanical roof piece or slab block, whatever it's called, and use that as the go-karts track, and I thought it looked pretty cool. Then I used a normal gray roof piece for parts of the go-karts that go up on a slope up or down. Then I just went all over the place with scenery, basically. Grabbed a lot of mechanical, abstract, miscellaneous scenery pieces, fences, and then finish it off with some nice foliage, like gardens and bushes and shrubs and palm tree type trees and some other stuff. And I really do like the outcome of it. Hopefully you guys like it too. Now, as for the tile inspector, if you want to learn more on how to use the tile inspector, SimFox has a great tutorial on how to make things invisible. I think that's all he shows. He might have shown something else, I don't remember. I do use it here, like I said, but it's a time lapse, and it might be kind of hard to see what I'm doing with the tile inspector. It just goes way too fast. So I just recommend just go watch his video. I think it might be a bit outdated, but I'm not sure if it looks different or not for what it looks like now, but it's worth watching. So if I remember, I'll try to link that in the description. It's just a tutorial, nice casual tutorial on how to use the tile inspector. So yeah, then I don't remember exactly what I did next because I'm still working on the go-karts. Yeah, I went to the Giga Coaster. I did add a couple simple cylindrical buildings towards the middle of the ride, just for fun. They're pretty simple. Then really just random foliage everywhere that just best fits the theme, and called it good. So that entire corner of the park is pretty much complete. Then the last half of this episode is working on the multi-dimension coaster again. I landscaped some more, made some supports using the base game support options, no custom. I still am struggling with like supports for these types of rides. I think I got the wooden coaster supports down. Like I think I can do supports for wooden coasters pretty well, but just any other type of ride I have issues and stuff, like steel and inverted coasters especially. Inverted I think are probably, in my opinion, are the toughest to do custom supports with. But you know, I've never really tried it that much, so I guess I should just really practice more, because that's really the best way. And sometimes looking at other people's creations and parks and stuff will help me as well. I do that a lot. What else? So for the multi-dimension coaster, the supports, I think it turned out alright, and I think placing a lot of dense foliage will really help draw attention away from the crappy support work. And at one point in the ride, I did kind of something funky with the supports for that multi-dimension. It was the part where it kind of curved up, I think. No, it curved down. Actually, I think it was both. I don't really remember, but you'll probably see it. It's kind of a weird design, but it works, I think. Yeah, I'll be ending my commentary before that even happens, so you might see what I'm talking about. And that just about wraps it up for this episode. In the multi-dimension coaster, by the way, is still a work in progress. I just want to make sure I say that and make that clear, so then you guys don't say it looks unfinished, because it is. So yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you like what you see. Also subscribe to my collaborator Henk. Join us on Discord. Check out that made a weird sound. Check out the playlist of this series, and also to the music I use. That'll be all in the description below. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.